Alright people, just wanted to do a quick review on the Harbor Freight greenhouse that I bought. Here it is, in my backyard. Wanted to wait a few weeks until I got around to doing a review, but here it is. What I did was I got little concrete footers at Home Depot, buried those in the ground, and used the 4x4 pressure treated lumber for the base. Just did it according to the instruction manual. It took me quite a while to build it. I would say probably about 12 hours in total. I spent pretty much all day one day doing it and a few hours the next day. It wasn't that hard to do, it was just time consuming. It took a while. There's lots of pieces, lots of little bolts. Each one of these little joints right here where the aluminum comes together has a nut and a bolt on it. So just looking at the structure, you can see it would take a little while to put all that in there and get everything tightened up. I used an electric drill with a socket on it when I went back to tighten everything. I just kind of loosely assembled the frame at first, then put the polycarbonate panels in, and then went back and tightened down all the nuts and bolts. That way it gave me a little bit of room to work with. Probably the hardest thing to figure out was how to put the door on. And I didn't actually do it according to the instructions, because it was supposed to slide open and closed. And the door in general, I didn't really like the design of it. So what I've done for now is I just bought some hinges in Home Depot and hinged it on. And as far as the latch goes, I tried to do this, but that didn't really work. And then I just kind of used some clothespins to do it. And I've actually narrowed the door a little bit. I was trying to get it to fit between the doorway, but these side panels here, actually, if you look, it has a larger gap at the top, comes in towards the middle, and then has a larger gap towards the bottom. And it does that on this side as well. It kind of bows in. So I couldn't really get the door to fit between those panels. So I think what I'm going to do later is just actually rebuild the door completely, replace these side pieces with actual, maybe some angle iron or some wood or something so it's more sturdy, and then build a new door for it with some hinges and a proper latch so that it has a proper door on it. Other than that, I really don't have any complaints with it. There's been concerns that other people said about it blowing down in a heavy windstorm, and I will say this about the windstorm. If a windstorm were to come through, and one did just the day before yesterday, it was really bad. We had up to 80-mile-an-hour gusts, tornadoes, all kinds of stuff going on. And as you can see, the structure made it. Nothing happened to it at all. None of the panels came out. The structure didn't come crashing down or anything like that. But I did do something different when I put the thing up, because I did notice that what it was saying to do didn't really make sense to do. The instructions tell you to just take screws and put it through the metal, I don't know, these bottom aluminum pieces here. And as I was putting them in, you could see, like this one pulled right through the aluminum. And it only says to do like 2 or 3 screws per each side. And I was thinking to myself, if we did get a really bad windstorm, that would be the weak point of the structure, because the force of the wind blowing on the side of the wall would be pretty good, with a 60, 70 mile, 80 mile an hour gust. And that would pull right through that aluminum, and once that happens, the entire structure is going to come down. So that is definitely the weak point. So what I did was I went around, you can see, every I don't know, 8 to 10 inches. I really didn't measure. I just kind of did it. Went all the way around the structure, putting in these screws with the washers also. That way it kind of spreads the load out over a greater distance, has a lot better chance of holding in wind gusts. And as you can see, like I said, we had really powerful windstorm the other day, and the structure's still standing. So I think that is the reason why. Had I not done that, I think it would have come down. One other thing I'd like to note is I did also, you can kind of see it right there, these concrete footers, I did attach it with a little L bracket, hurricane bracket, whatever you call those things, I'm not sure. That way the wooden part is also secured down as well. Well, that wood's pretty heavy, so I don't know if it would have lifted in the windstorm or not off of those concrete footers, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I went ahead and did that. And now that I'm inside, actually, you can see all the little nuts and bolts at every joint, where they're all at. There's quite a number of them. So, but other than that, I mean, other than the door, I would say it's a pretty good value at only $300. We got a 20% off coupon in the mail. We used that for it. So it ended up costing less than that overall. So given the cost of it and everything, I'm pretty happy with it. We also got the automatic window opener as well. That way when it starts to get too hot in there, which it will down here in Orlando, especially over the summertime, it gets upwards of 120 degrees in here already, and it's only gotten up to like, I don't know, 77 degrees at the most so far this year. But yeah, so overall I think it's a good value. Kind of a pain in the butt to put together. I couldn't even figure out how to put the door on, so I just put it on the way I wanted, but it survived 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts, so I think we're pretty good as long as we don't get a hurricane. We'll see what happens when we do get a hurricane. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy.